I'm sure a lot of people are dealing with this during the pandemic, you know, the feeling like you're not doing enough, even though technically just by surviving, you are doing splendid. Hello friends, my name is comedian insert pithy comment here, and we are continuing the BTS B reaction journey, a long pilgrimage to sights unseen of pandemic reflections, mental health bangers, some cheesy whimsicalness, mostly just some great music, and oh my goodness, this sentence is unraveling faster than my favorite t-shirt always unravels. The second I decide I have a favorite t-shirt, it just starts unraveling. I should stop telling myself, I shouldn't even whisper it in my own brain, I love this shirt, this is my favorite shirt, because the second I do that, it starts going to pieces, just like this intro has. Right, so we're doing dis-ease. I don't know if that's to emphasize the unease you get from a disease, or, you know, or because they're dissing COVID. Screw you, COVID, you suck. Yeah, that would be popular, you know, like a COVID stand-up, like, hey, what's the big deal? What's the big deal with COVID? You know, because it sounds like COVID, like co-creating a video, but co-creating a video with a friend is fun, and COVID isn't. That's my stand-up bit about COVID. Hope you enjoyed. So yeah, it's the name is intriguing. It intrigues me. I have a feeling that, you know, this is going to be about the mighty COVID, but I don't know to what degree, I guess. So we shall see. But I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to it. Please do subscribe and like the video, and also keep commenting your suggestions and feedback, and just keep talking to me. You know, it's COVID season. I don't know if you noticed from this song, but I've got nothing else to do, and I want to, obviously. Halo emoji. So yeah. Oh, and also, if you want to check out some more of my content, I have around BTS reactions on my Patreon, and social media links in the description. Oof, that was a lot. Let's do this. No, it's another kind of funky intro, or... Okay. Wait a second. I want to know exactly whose moan that was. They didn't do the highlighting thing. I want to know exactly whose moan that was, because if it was V or RM, then I shall be playing it on a loop. In bed. Now, J-Hope, I hate to poo-poo on your parade, but how do you relieve yourself of anxiety with coffee? Because everything I've ever known and suggested is that coffee gives you anxiety. It is a stimulating drink that makes people, especially like me with ADHD, kind of loopy and kind of all over the place. I mean, maybe this lyric explained itself. I seem to have missed something. Brackets, you know, how caffeine works on the nervous system. I tried to relieve myself of the anxiety with a sip of coffee. Now that would make sense. And comfortable happiness. Now, I don't know how relatable some of these lyrics are. I like them, but 24 hours, so much time to spare. Even if I sleep the whole day, for now it's no problem. That is how people who are already immensely wealthy feel during the pandemic. Like, there's definitely been times where I've wanted to sleep all day, but I thought to myself, if I don't make a video today, I won't make enough money to buy an apple tomorrow. You know, people are out here hustling. And that's not a criticism to say that are out of touch. It's just funny. Like, I completely understand where he's coming from, because I have empathy. I can relate to the situation he's in. But, I think it shows an interesting perspective on how everyone experiences this differently. And obviously some people have been made unemployed, so they do experience this, and that is quite relatable. Maybe he got made unemployed. Did BTS unemploy him? Somebody check in on J-Hope. The prick called me, just eats 3 meals a day. Oh man, this is extra relatable. I keep being like, why aren't I getting more strong? And then I'm like, oh right, because I'm not going to the gym anymore. And I keep forgetting to work out at home. That makes sense. The dog that bites myself who's resting. Okay, I think I understand what this song is saying. I feel like I'm a genius now at picking through dodgy translations, and I kind of like it. I kind of love doing that. It feels, in its own way, its own weird way, it feels like an extra layer of translation. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen Hot Fuzz, but like they have a scene where they have someone who's like farmer, like he's a English farmer, and they kind of do a over the top English farmer accent, so he can't be understood by anyone apart from one guy who then translates it to like pirate to like light farmer English and then to normal English. And I think that trope's been used a lot in lots of movies and stuff. But this feels a bit like that. That is to say, what I'm getting from this is that I love this metaphor. The dog that bites myself who's resting. I think it's that thing of like, if you start getting down on yourself, feeling harsh on yourself for taking a break, for being completely overwhelmed by the fact that we're living in a literal pandemic, which is what I try and tell myself, but then I'm just like, oh, I spent the whole day playing video games today when I could have made 2 videos, shame, like, I completely get it, like, especially some people have certain standards for themselves, or maybe they had a certain way of being raised that means they are constantly pushing themselves, constantly trying to overachieve. Whatever the reason, this is a very relatable lyric, and I'm sure a lot of people are dealing with this during the pandemic, the feeling like you're not doing enough, even though technically just by surviving, you are doing splendid. Moment of applause for yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Okay, alright. Even when I shout, I'm still hung up on achievements. Can't relax, just still thinking about what you should be doing. Ooh, the flow is great, I love it. Tap the rotten rope. Tap the rotten rope. Whoa, I love the imagery. Yeah, it is risque. They both work in this situation. Arguably just the same words said differently, but it's kind of risque. Just sounds like somebody saying risky in a sort of 90s pop song. Risque! Yeah, it's risque to say, maybe it's because I'm sick in a pandemic. I get what you're going for, but you can't be saying words like that. Still young, only my body's an adult. Interesting. Interesting. Now, okay, I really feel like even my powers of deduction have just slipped, or this translation is kind of very off. But I also like, I don't like using other channels because I know like they kind of steal revenue from BTS, and they also can be just as bad as this. And it might not even be bad; it might just be something that I'm not getting. I should probably blame myself. It usually works out better. But yeah, this is. Let's see, we can get this. We got this. My disease. The cowardice. Interesting. So for who was singing just then? J-Hope. So his disease is the cowardice. But is the cowardice like the fear of not being good enough? Because that would be a very interesting way of looking at cowardice, wouldn't it? Yeah. I so agree with that. How do I sign up for a mind holiday? What's the travel agent for mindholidays.com? Okay, again, I'm trying to. I feel like I relate to these lyrics, even though, if I had to guess, BTS probably work like 120 hours a week, whereas I might work like 50 maybe if I'm really trying. But everyone has their own standards and stuff, and we're all plagued by this. But I feel like part of the appeal to me of being my own boss, why I'm trying to make it work with this YouTube thing, was that I could have a 4-day work week if I wanted. I could, if I just felt terrible one day, which happens, quite a bit, just have a day off, just give myself that. But because I do actually have high standards for myself, and I'm not lazy like I used to think I was as a kid, sometimes it'll be hard for me to just enjoy my rest time because, also because a big part of it is like I don't respect myself very much. So I'm like, hey, comedian? Yes. Comedian said you could take the day off. Okay, cool. Then what authority does comedian have to tell me that? Like, if a boss told me to take the day off, I'm like, excellent, wicked. But when it's me, I'm just like, who's that guy? Why does he get to say if I take a day off? This glass-like disease hits your head, and that can mean a bottle or a disease. The bottle hits your head, which again could be a metaphor for drinking to cope with the stress of working so much. Now this is really cool. If the one with disease is the world or myself, because oftentimes like a work ethic can be very personal and can come from within, but it also can come from, like I was saying earlier, like upbringing. It can come from the way you're raised, and it can come from a society that is capitalistic, work driven, and says if you aren't working, you aren't succeeding, you aren't justifying your place in society. It's all about labels. Yeah. Okay, I actually love this because I would never have guessed in a million years this song wouldn't actually be about COVID. I mean, like, obviously there's some kind of like hints towards it, or there's some references to the current year, but it's not actually about, I guess COVID isn't technically a disease either, it's a virus. That should have been a clue to me, but you know, I'm not an epidemiologist or an epidemiologist or whatever. I'm not an ologist of any sense, of any kind. So I actually love that it's not the obvious one. Now this seems to be quite literal. Not many diseases of the heart, and I think it literally means like there's lots of different types of heart disease, and most people have them. Kind of like how diabetes is so ubiquitous these days. Or maybe not, I don't know. Or maybe he meant the disease of the heart was love. Mind blown. I limp on my life walk. I hate limping on my life walk. You know when you go out for a big old life walk and you start limping on it? Ugh, what's that like? That's reminding me of that Incredibles line. And if everyone's special, no one is. And when it says slow down and cure the disease, I wonder if that's talking about, you know, disease of the mind, overthinking stuff, you know, anxiety, self-reflection, self-criticizing too much. Oh, I like this breakdown. Life goes on. That's a repeat, a refrain. I like this bit too. I'll walk like myself. You know, to me, that basically means like, no matter how much you think, oh, I should do this, at the end of the day, you're still yourself. You're gonna be you. I'll believe in myself that I used to know. Man, I feel that one hard. For me, the somebody that I used to know, Gautier style, is a person who was happy. But, you know, I've been doing better lately, for the reference. I moved recently, and that's been helping. It's also a pandemic. I don't have, again, not trying to have sound as too high for myself. One of my happiest years was my year abroad, and I was doing lots of stuff, making lots of friends, all that kind of stuff. This year, I have been indoors, mostly. Watched a few cool movies. Yeah, so I'm not really holding myself to crazy standards for happiness. I like these defeatist kind of like, because you could see this as upbeat, but I don't see it that way. One more time, it's morning again, we have to live today. That could be like, yeah, we have to live today, but I'm reading the have here, we have to live today, like as in, what else are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Just get on with it. Don't know what's on the end of the road. Oh, okay, now that is upbeat. There's no night that lasts forever. I became stronger. Nothing feels it's the same forever. Oh, okay, we got some little sax in the background now. Coca, Cowardice. That's the sequel to Coco. Coming out next year. Oh, what a really funky outro. Once again, disproving my theory that BTS don't have songs that end with a fade out. Okay, that was a very, very interesting one. Please let me know what this song means to you, and not just like what the official interpretation is. Like, I want to hear what the song means to you guys, because I really did feel like the translation was a bit off. And for the record, yes, I know that there are many great websites. I know about, is it BTS Dulcet Bangtan? I've been on that blog. I've read it. Okay, it's just there's no way I can make a video where I'm listening to a song and reading lyrics at the same time in a language I don't speak. For me, it's very important to go through the song and connect the lyric on a line-by-line basis as it happens in the song with the music. Like, that's my thing. And I know, obviously, lyric videos are very imperfect and often have dodgy translations, but I kind of like the fact that, like, there's a bit of open-endedness with them. There's a bit of, like, it's like, here's 75% of the meaning, and then I have to try and find the rest of it. I kind of like that. So I appreciate everyone who links me to, like, to blogs like Dulcet and also suggest, but I do appreciate people who mention, like, better YouTube channels to find lyrics on. I always try and check those out. But for the most part, I'm just going to be, trying to find the least problematic lyrics channel and watching it on there. And you know, I kind of like that. I kind of like gleaned from that. Although this one did feel a little bit like the translation was a bit weird, but I don't know. You know, maybe I just maybe I didn't relate to it. Maybe my brain just stopped working. I haven't eaten yet, and it is kind of late, so that's very possible. But I still thought that was very, very cool. Had some very, very interesting themes in there, and some interesting musicality. That I think some of these songs, like, I guess I haven't really listened to enough of BTS music to be like, okay, this is their style. I also feel like as a band, they try not to get pigeonholed too much into any one style. But I thought that was very, very interesting musically as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please do subscribe and like the video. And of course, like I said earlier, and I will keep saying again until I can afford some more apples, is my Patreon in the description. I got Run BTS reactions on there and early access and all that kind of fun stuff. Discord and social media links in the description. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you guys are having a lovely day and week, and why not, month and lifetime while we're here. And I will see you next time, okay? Yeah, that's okay. Right, and remember, if you like my reaction to BTS Disease, then click the subscribe button. Bij, please. It's a soft SH. SH, check the tape. Ah.